Thank you for this kind introduction, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. You have heard, we discussed today a topical question, topical matter, and when I prepared a little bit what I say today, I had the question, is it possible to organize academic internationalization at a time when the world around us is broken? We all know that the radical political Islam has proclaimed a caliphate. Millions of peaceful people are displaced, and Christians in Iraq and Syria are being impulsed after 2000 years. Seeing all these important problems, I can understand that Israel has many, many problems. That Israel has the wish to live in a peaceful region and to find solution for this problem around Israel. When I can say something to this great problem, I will mention that in my point of view, Israel must have a clear and consistent strategy. This strategy, in my opinion, is the way to Europe. Many, many people believe that the relations between Europe and Israel are very, very complicated. And you know there are different opinions in Europe. It's only necessary to name our membership countries, Sweden, Ireland, and Spain. My message from Europe is to Israel, you do not have lost Europe yet. But also, you will lose Europe if you do not make your positions clear. Israel must make clear that it is a part of the Western world and a part of Europe. But of course, Israel is also a part of the Middle Eastern region. I believe it will be successful in pursuing a policy of small steps. I will say you a little story of our German history. When Germany was still divided, we made good experience with a strategy called change through rapprochement. Israel must, in my opinion, help its neighbors to create a more social stability. For example, in Egypt, about 40% of the people have to live on less than $2 a day. About 60% of the people without a job are between 15 and 24 years old. That is a perfect breeding ground for fundamentalism and terrorism. So we all, not only Israel, but the international community as well, have to do what we can do to make economies stronger, especially in the states of the so-called Arab Spring, who seems me to be an Arab winter. The peace process was based on a simple perception. Israel is a Jewish state and has a right of existence. At the same time, the Palestinians are here and they do not go away. The consequence of this perception is the state of Israel can only stay Jewish and democratic if occupation comes to an end. It is not enough that Israeli politicians say everywhere in the world, we want to put the two-state plan into practice. We want to go the way to the roadmap. If in Israel more and more groups and people do not want to accept a Palestinian state. Germany's position is very clear. Israel's right of existence is part of our raison d'etre. We help where we can. And you know that there also exists a very close collaboration, not only between the training center and the Konrad Adenauer Foundation, not only between the government in Berlin and the government in Jerusalem, also between our two armies. Germany has helped to build the Israeli system of security called Iron Dome. But saying this, I also say the Israeli must work for better relations with the United Europe. Some years ago, you have heard it, I suggested at this place that Israel would have a future as privileged partner of the EU. Our Chancellor, Madame Merkel, has agreed and repeated this idea in her speech at the Knesset. One important step on this way to a formalized cooperation between the European Union and Israel can be a mentorship of Israel to the Bologna process. The result of this mentorship would be that students from Israel can study at all universities in Europe. More students from the countries in Europe can come to Israel, to Israeli universities. Professors and researchers can work together at scientific level. At the end of this process, young Israelis will have the same studies, the same degrees, and the same career opportunities as young people in Europe. Next year, we will commemorate the beginning of the diplomatic relations between Israel and Germany 50 years ago. Since then, a deep friendship has grown between the people of Israel and Germany. 20 years ago, we could make it possible that Israel become part of the European research framework. Since then, Israel has grown to one of the leading innovation places in the world. That shows it is possible to make something. It is possible to change the world. It is possible to change also the problems here in this region. And that is perhaps a good idea to work together. Thank you for your attention.